Hi, everybody. What a great opportunity to talk to all of you on this Global Game Changers Summit, an amazing platform to talk to young people, aspirants looking to join the economic world force in the coming times. And the topic that I'm going to talk about today is leadership and something that we all know. We all are amazed and inspired by leaders, but I can tell you that leaders are not born. This is a myth. You grow, you evolve, and you become a leader. That's been my general experience. So very excited to share some of my own personal reflections in life about leadership and how I have experienced it, how I have when I reflect back, how it has basically shaped and helped me to come to where I am today. And happy to discuss in the subsequent section around experiences, specific examples. But here is the sum total of what I believe it is. To become a leader, you don't start by wanting to become a leader. You want to be a good individual, and it's all about basically laying the foundation for being a good, solid you. So for me, there are three buckets that I look at. The very first bucket is how do I build myself? Building the you, which is the foundational capability that will get you set right on a good professional path as you look ahead. And in the building the you, I think what is most important is coming to the table with a core expertise that you have. It could be through your education, it could be through a vocational program that you've done, but something core and fundamental. An example of which could be a doctor, a nurse, an engineer, a programmer, a computer science background. It could be somebody who picked up a vocational thing in singing, right? So you need to have something core, something solid that you bring to the table. And this has to be supplemented by a strong work ethic. I always believe that however good you are, very naturally, the goodness will not get you forward. There will have to be a work ethic. And this is a classic example when you look at all the people that inspire us, whether it is in sports, whether it is in the movie or the art domain. Even the most successful people today have to work hard, but you ask them, they had to have to toil harder in the earlier stages. So a strong work ethic and a core skill set, something that you really feel you own, and you can build on, are absolutely critical, and that is the foundation of the you. Along with this will come some values that you bring to the table, and these are very important. You need to know what those are, whether it is being dependable, whether it is being honest, whether it is being fair, some basic values that have shaped you till you came to this point. And those, recognizing and understanding them, are very important. So the building the you part is about work ethic, it's about a core skill set, and above all, I think that worked for me was being curious. You need to want to learn and set yourself beyond your current domain, right? So as you work, as you see, be curious, be determined to learn about things around you that is happening. So as an example, for me, I started my career as a salesperson, as a sales leader, but I was always curious about what did marketing entail. I was always trying to understand what makes them work, how do things happen there. And when I became a marketing person, I was more curious about how does procurement work, how does supply chain work, right? And those are the things that one needs to have curiosity for. So the building the you is got the work ethic part, a core skill set part, a curiosity to learn part, and the last thing I would say is team spirit, learning to play with teams. Very few business environment situations will allow an individual to excel at the expense of the team failing. So how do you work as a team will be the core area, and this is the building the you part. I think this is absolutely critical as you want to build a career in the professional setup. That brings me to the second stage, friends. The second stage is learning the people. This is a skill, again, that is a lifelong skill that one needs to shape, evolve, and develop, but it is absolutely critical. And many people who are super intelligent and super bright, I've seen them fall by the wayside when the people angle has not been adequately focused. The first thing I encourage youngsters to bring to the table is respect. Respect for people who you're going to be with, and this is a fundamental point which goes back to the point on value. I think value impacts every dimension of a person's growth. Respect for others as you want to learn about people is absolutely critical. The second thing is to understand what makes people tick. you know we have this mindset of cultures, stereotyping individuals basis the gender, basis the culture, basis the country of origin, etc. But I still feel very important to note that an individual, whatever set he comes from, is an individual, and to understand what makes him tick and what he wants is going to be very critical. And for learning the people aspect, I think one of the key things that I have, through a lot of mistakes, by the way, in hindsight, vision is 2020. Through a lot of mistakes learned, wherever I did not focus on the individual and he or she, what she wants or he wants, and was purely focused and obsessed by what I wanted, I saw failure. And in areas that I understood that very well, I was able to build a better platform for working and winning together. So learning the people is an important skill set. And I think this is where one important piece that I reflect on was critical is starting to build your network. And many people think that building a network is all about, starting with professionals. No, you already have a network if you are where you are. You already have school friends. You already have your college friends. You already have people that you've done your internship with. You have school academic professors. I think this is fundamentally absolutely already the start of a network. What happens, I've seen many people, they lose this network in the early stages of what you do and what you and how you continue to invest in this. So start to build a network, and to consolidate it will be an important part of learning people. And I think the last piece, among other things that I believe here, is to find a mentor. You always need a person who has got your good at his got your good, your success as a clear goal, but is able to give you a neutral perspective on who you are and what you are doing, and be a coach, somebody you can talk to and discuss. And everybody can do well with a coach. You've seen that whether it's a sportsman, early stage, we talk about coaches playing an important role. And whether it is a art field, there is always somebody who's wishing you well and who's able to give you this neutral feedback, and the role of a coach. So to me, once you have the building the you foundation laid, and then the second part, learning the people, I think you have got the core foundations to be successful in the professional world. This is absolutely critical. A compromise on any of these will make the journey harder, and probably the odds will stack up against you if you are finding that if you continue to not focus on these areas. Well, that is all easier said than done. I know that. But there is a third dimension that I feel which is very, very critical once you have got these basic pieces. And that, friends, is the most hardest part. We have a tendency as human beings to be in a comfort zone. And the third piece for me in the evolution of an individual into a leader is this thing about breaking, avoiding the comfort zone. How do you keep challenging yourself to not be in your comfort zone? And to me, that has essentially meant things like, you know, new geographies. I'm comfortable with what I do today. Maybe I do that in a new geography. Maybe I do that with a new business. Maybe I do that with a new function, sales going to marketing or going to manufacturing, or for that matter, doing it a completely new enterprise, right? A company, completely new company, a completely new industry. But challenging your core, challenging what you have done so far through new experiences is going to be an important area. I believe that new challenges shape character. They are absolutely important, and it allows you to apply your past knowledge in basically improving it, adapting it, and giving it more color and context. So, breaking your comfort zone, keep challenging yourself is going to be absolutely critical as you look at it. And this, I must say, is easier said than done. There's an important element of failures in when you step out of your comfort zone. Many people are scared to fail. One thing that I feel is that as you step out of your comfort zone, you will have failures, but don't let your failures define you. Let them teach you what you should and should not be doing, and they basically shape how one is growing, how one is evolving. So, if I were to take a sum total of the distills, this is what I would think is important. As a starting point, focus on building the you. Get that piece set right. That is a non-negotiable. Second thing, to be successful in the professional world and potentially emerge as a strong leader, it's about getting to know the people. And we talked about that. And the third dimension for me is avoiding the comfort zone, new challenges, new opportunities that shape you. And last piece for me, which is something that will naturally come to you, you may not realize it, but over time you will see that happening, is your ability to look back and reflect. And this reflection is the fourth piece that we have. There is a every moment of time when there is a change happening, there is always a good opportunity to look back and think what you have learned, how you have learned it, and what does it mean as you go ahead. And this is the maturing of the individual. This is the final frontier where I think leaders truly become inspirational, when they are able to reflect on their learnings, when they're able to reflect on their experiences, and then help shape the younger people, the teams out there, the newer people, and give them the right perspective on what they do. In this phase, you will realize that you have added more values to what you were doing. You may have started with a certain set of values, and personally, for me, I talked about honesty, integrity, perseverance, determination, reliability, dependability were things that I valued the most when I got started because I thought that was me. But today, when I reflect back on it, I think my values have evolved. There is a lot more that I've learned over these years that has taught me to bring more of these into my conversation. So there is this whole aspect of courage, willing to take risk that I see is necessary. There is this whole aspect of gratitude. Where you are, what you have become is not because of who you are. There's a lot of people who allow you to get there, and how you can therefore appreciate what you've got and be willing to give back. Sustainability is another piece that one suddenly realizes is so important, right? And last but not the least for me is the value of diversity and inclusion. That was something that was, when I look back in my starting years, it wasn't something that was high, but today I realize that has become an integral part. So in your journey, you will notice that there is an evolution, there is a maturing, and there are new values added. And being transparent and being authentic about these values will be an important piece as you're engaging with people around you. People look up to you, they see how consistently you behave, and that is basically what they value in you, and that's how they will rally around you. So this piece that we've talked about today for me is about a bit of my own reflections. There is no one way or the right way. There are many ways to get where you go to, and you ask different people, you'll get same experiences. But for me, it has always been about building yourself, is about getting to know the people skills, willing to break the comfort zone, and last but not the least, adding to your repertoire of values that drive you, and being able to focus on giving back to people as much as you take from them, and probably I would say more, because that is where teams will be inspired and engaged by you. And for me, this is one path to going from a rookie, a new startup, to a new starter, to becoming a potential leader in the business world. I'm, I wish you, I wish all of you all the best, and I do hope that the conversation today allows us to have more meaningful engagement, and it's a good learning opportunity for me to see what's top of the mind for all of you. So, looking forward to our discussion. Thank you.